There's a new king of smartphone battery life, and it comes from an unexpected company, the new Asus ZenFone 3 Zoom. And this thing is breaking all sorts of records. How long did it last?
We ran the battery test a couple times, and our battery number is 16 hours and 49 minutes. So that basically dethroned the Moto Z Play, which was the previous current longest lasting phone, by about 2 hours. Our current smartphone average is about 932, so if you're looking at this, it's almost double.
So how did they do it? What's the size of the battery? What chip did they use?
This thing has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. That's compared to like the S8, which has a 3,000 milliamp hour battery, or the standard iPhone 7, which is around 2,650.
Okay.
And then on top of that, they used a really energy efficient Qualcomm Snapdragon 625 processor. So by packing a huge battery and a really energy efficient chip, that's how we get that massive battery life number.
So where does the zoom in the name? What sort of zoom do you get?
You'll notice dual 12 megapixel cameras in the back, and it kind of does the same thing that the iPhone 7 Plus does, where it uses different focal lengths to achieve that optical zoom effect. So in this case, it goes up to a 2.3x optical zoom, which is slightly longer than the one you get in the iPhone 7 Plus.
Okay, so for the money, what do you get? What do you like, and what don't you like?
Oh, this phone starts out at $329, which fills a really interesting gap between your traditional $200 and $250 budget phones and your mid-range phones like the $439 OnePlus 3T. So you're getting the best battery life we've seen, pretty good performance, and for a phone that's in the $300 range, it's got a nice design, metal back. There are some plastic end caps on top and bottom, but overall, I really like the way it looks.
Is it a AMOLED screen?
It is a 5.5-inch Full HD AMOLED screen, and in kind of bucking tradition, you do get capacitive touch buttons for your menus on the bottom.
So is there anything you don't like?
Specifically, it comes with Android 6.0, which is last year's version of Android, and on top of that, the Asus skin for Android 6.0 is pretty chunky. You see these giant buttons, makes the phone feel a little bit cumbersome than it really should.
Yeah, it feels like my first phone.
Well, this is definitely the marathon runner of phones. Make sure you go to tomsguide.com to check out the full review of the Asus ZenFone 3 Zoom. For Tom's Guide, this is Mark Spoonow.